So sometimes at eTeknix we have some amazing ideas. Other times at eTeknix we have really, really bad ones. I don't know why, but I feel like today is going to be one of them bad ones. Let's do this. So we were sitting around the office thinking we need to do something. We need to be a little bit inventive. And for some reason, our video guy came up with the idea of, why don't we build a PC outside in the snow where it's currently -2 degrees? And for some weird, strange reason, I agreed with it. But there is kind of method behind the madness. We're going to be doing this build so you guys don't have to. And as you can see, we have got some of the latest and greatest kit. So I'm going to talk through it as we do it. But the whole point of this video is to do it, as I mentioned, so you don't have to, and to try and do it as quickly as possible before my feet actually kind of fall off. So let's get straight to it. I was going to wear gloves, but to be fair, I just don't think it's really going to happen. So let's talk about the motherboard and sort of go through, I guess, the key things before we really get into this. I do need to mention this video is sponsored by Be Quiet, so thank you very much to them. Hence why we're using the Silent Base 802 in white, goes with the whole kind of theme, as well as a Straight Power 11, GameRock 3 in white. And yeah, let's get to it. So motherboard wise, we decided to go with the MSI MPG Z590 gaming carbon Wi-Fi. I haven't even opened this up before, so this is all kind of new to me. And I've got to admit, this desk is extremely low. So yeah, sorry if there's lots of crotch shots in this and stuff like that. But let's take this out. So you guys have seen many builds that I've done in the past, and you kind of know the story by now as to how we do things. So I'm not going to go over sort of stomping over old ground of this is how you do this is how you do that. I want to get this finished as soon as possible. It's cold outside right now. So processor wise, we've gone with the 10900K just purely because Rocket Lake isn't even out yet. So we're deciding to go with that. And to be fair, I think it's a good choice. It's going to give us, you know, decent gaming performance if we were going to do anything with this PC other than dismantle it after, which is probably what we're going to do. And yeah, we are getting sort of the functionality from Z590 if we wanted to upgrade this to Rocket Lake at a later date or anything like that. So storage wise, because we do have the capabilities of going to Rocket Lake after, we are going to get that PCI Express Gen 4 capabilities. So we've got the Seagate Firecooler 520 1TB NVMe. So this is a Gen 4 drive, so we're going to get blistering fast speeds if we were using it in conjunction with a processor that could actually sort of give us that ability. Oh, it's cold! Right, let's open up the handy dandy eTeknix toolkit, available on store.eteknix.com, and start putting things together. For anyone who has this toolkit, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about when I say there is not a better toolkit on the market for the money, and damn is it cold. Now I want to talk about the case a little bit as well. We went with it because, you know, be quiet, and I mean, that's kind of one of the reasons. I love it when it snows and you just kind of get that dampened sound. So that's exactly what we're going to get from this case. So we're going to get the 1TB drive in. Now, normally I'd put an extra hard drive or an extra SSD in, but that takes time and I haven't got it because I'm freezing cold. So drive is in. We can get this installed back on there. So let's do that. And it's saying enable M.21 with 11th gen Intel Core processors i5 and above. So I'm not even sure if the top slot on this works with a 10th gen, even at Gen 3 speeds. So memory wise, again, we wanted something white. And the only kind of real memory that I had that was white is the Viper memory from Patriot. So this is, I'm actually using 4 sticks. So we're going with DDR4, I think it's 3200. I'll double check. It is DDR4 3200. That is freezing cold. So memory, let's get that in. Obviously it can only go in one way because of the notch. If you've watched any of my videos before, you'll know exactly how to do this. So 32 gig, this is going to be more than enough for even the most extreme of gamers, enthusiasts, and everyone in between. I've just been told that the top slot on this, being Z590, will not work even with a Gen 4 drive, Gen 3 drive, whatever, without the appropriate CPU. So I am actually going to have to take this out and put it into another slot. And I honestly don't know why I agreed to do this. I thought it'd be a good idea. I was wrong. Maybe next time I'll ask you guys, should I do something? Although you probably would have subjected me to this anyway, so. Right. That's on. Right, time for the cooler. So we've gone with the GameRock 3 in white, just to kind of go with the whole theme and everything that we're doing. I'm just hoping nothing blows away here. So for anyone who hasn't seen this, we did use this in the ultimate clean build and it just looks absolutely amazing. So we do need to get the mounting and everything on as well, and I really am running out of space here as well. Whew. But we're going to need the Intel bracket. Never thought I'd be saying that. We're going to be using Intel. I mean, what's going on there? Don't you move. Right, let's have a look, see what we've got. So we've got our brackets, we've got our little screws, and we have our back plate as well. This cooler doesn't come with thermal paste, so I just picked up any thermal paste that I've got, which now seems like it might have actually frozen. Wow. Has it actually frozen? Ah! Okay, semi-frozen. So for anyone using thermal paste, it's worth knowing it might freeze. Here's me second guessing myself again. Right, no, we're gonna do it this way. We're gonna do it this way because reasons. So the cooler's on. I'm not gonna lie, it took a little bit of undoing this screw to let the bracket down to do that one up. To be honest, it was all my fault. But yeah, the mounting mechanism has actually got a lot better. Now, we have got a black fan, but I'm thinking if we're gonna go with a white theme, we might as well stick with white fans. So we're gonna take one of the Shadow Wings 2s, which are, I've got 120mm and 140mm, because I didn't actually know what I was gonna need. So that's on there. Grab that one, onto there. And yeah, I think we're looking good. Right, I need to do some tidying up and then we can actually focus on the case before I freeze my ass off. So let's talk about the case. It's a Silent Base 802. It weighs an absolute ton, and yes, I really, really do need a bigger desk to do this. Whoever's idea this was needs shooting or firing, or both. Either way, this is the case, and the reason we've gone with it, purely, the main reason was it's white, it looks nice, but you do have all the versatility of like taking panels off and kind of making it your own, whether you want airflow or whether you want silence, or really it's kind of down to you. So let's take the first side panel off, take the second side panel off, and do exactly the same. Hopefully that's going to be okay in the snow. Then we can look to get the case actually with the motherboard inside. And there's plenty of room in this case, which is one thing I really, really like about this case. There's just so much room. It's unreal. Right, we are in. Oh, okay, the sun has just gone behind a tree and now it has got ice cold. We never get weather like this in this part of the country, to be fair. I just can't wait to do the PC build of the summer, where we're going to do it on a beach or something. I'm so glad that we're not putting hard drives in. Could you imagine touching up, even touching the case right now is just ridiculous. Right, let's get the front panel headers. No. This is going to be the bane of my life, doing front panel headers. Right, USB, where are you? You're down the bottom. We don't need USB. USB's fine. USB's overrated. Why do people need USB? We have SATA. We've got Type-C. I can plug Type-C and I'm happy with Type-C. Type-C is easy to get to. USB 3.1 is not. What else we got? Front panel headers. Front panel headers. I mean, these are overrated as well, in my opinion. I mean, why do we need power LEDs? You can tell if the computer's on. Hard drive LED. If you've got a hard drive, you can tell it's noisy. Power switch. Power switch is needed. Where is the power switch? Right, it's down there. We should be able to poke that through. I never said this was going to be a full kind of PC guide. I said we're building a system in the snow as quickly as possible, and so far it's taken at least 10 times longer than I wanted it to. Right, we've got a fan header for the fan controller. Where are you going to go? You're going to go over there. HD audio. I mean, we're never going to use that, so we don't need to put that in. I can't put that in, it's too cold to put that in. Right, graphics card, let's talk about it. It's the Palit RTX 3080. And I'm sure anyone who knows what this card is about is gonna know straight away exactly why I chose it. So, graphics card wise, it's the GameRock. If we want it to look all nice and icy and everything, that was the one that we had to go for. Oh. I can see the sun, it's just not doing anything. It's literally just a light right now. The sun is letting off no heat whatsoever. Right, graphics card, let's do it. So, we're gonna go slots 2 and 3. Oh, wow. I'm sure everyone watching this is getting so much enjoyment out of this. I, for one, am not. Oh. Right, that is in. Get these screws back in. get that one in there. Now we could have gone vertical, but again, I don't want to. It's too cold to be taking out unnecessary things. So power supply wise, we're going with a straight power 11. It's a modular power supply. It's made by Be Quiet, so you know it's good. Be Quiet makes some of the best power supplies in the world. It's 80 plus gold rated, fully modular, 850 watts. So it's more than enough for what we need. Oh, where do I put things? Stay. The Leaning Tower of Fans. Right, power supply wise, let's turn this case around. Oh. Right, so we know we're going to need a certain amount of cables. What are we going to need? So there's one, there's another, and we're going to need PCI Express galore. So 1 load, 2 loads, 3 loads. Sweet. Right, let's get these in. PCI Express 1, another PCI Express. Oh, I cannot feel my feet. That one in there. That wind's picking up now as well. Oh, this power supply is so cold. Right, that is that. Power supply is obviously going to go into the case with a fan facing down so that we've got that ventilation. And this is going to go over the top. So it's all 4 screws on there. The bracket is on. I honestly feel like these boxes are going to go flying in a minute. Oh, it hurts. It actually physically hurts. The cables and the connectors and the metal with the case. It's just such a horrible pain. You can now slide this in. Of course, it's taking its time. We can then screw this back down. Let's get some cables sorted. Right, let's turn this around so you guys can see exactly what's going on. So we have 24 pin. We've got some other cables. There's the wind. All right, let's get the 24 pin in. You can go up there. That needs to go up here. So second 8 pin is going on. Ow! It's just too cold to even grip the cables now. So it's -2, but we've got like 90% humidity here. So it's got to feel like -6, something like that. And that is just unheard of where we're based. I know there's people like laughing in Canadian and laughing in Russian right now. Just, you know, you have no idea. The humidity here just is an absolute killer. But I'm going to try and persevere as much as I physically can to try and get this done. I'm not a quitter. I can do this. So anyone who's ever put 8-pin connectors in where you have to hold like the 6 and the 2, I mean, it's not the most comfortable act anyway. Imagine if your hands were just numb with pain. We need to change some stuff. So these panels come off, and this is what I love about this case. Because obviously it's cold, so ventilation and things like that, we have a ventilated panel that's on top. We also have one for the front, so that's going on as well. Oh. Let's try and move this around. I'm not gonna lie, this is a heavy case. So this comes off. So if you do want the acoustic and everything and you want that sound deadening, that's the one to go for. But if you want the airflow, this is what it's all about. We have a very snowed up panel. I was gonna do fans. We might still do them, but I'm not doing them out here. I wanted to build a functional PC. This is currently a functional PC. Let's move this over. Let's get the snow off. Apparently snow and PCs does not mix. So why we thought it'd be a good idea, I don't know. Oh, imagine getting your hands caught in that. Oh. My name's Andy Raffel from eTeknix.com, and I set out to do one thing: build a PC in the snow. That's a PC. Built in the snow. Oh, that's better. Lovely stuff. So the build is complete, and I can tell you one thing. I am so glad that I'm back inside. Now, you can probably see the PC behind me is, well, it's booted. So that's the main important thing. We didn't want to do it outside because humidity, electrostatic discharge, all that kind of stuff that you could, in theory, kind of run into when you're building in the snow. Not that I think you should ever really build in the snow, because it was a stupid idea from the get-go. But as I mentioned multiple times throughout this video, that's one of the main reasons why we did it, so you don't have to. And like I say, I think I really am regretting doing it, because my hands are still cold even now. You will see that I did make a few changes with the PC overall, so I have added in quite a few fans in white. So yes, the case does come with black fans in the front and one in the rear, but I wanted to change it up and just go with that whole kind of ice theme. You will also notice that there's only 2 sticks of memory now and not 4, and that's purely because where we're on Intel, it just didn't like that memory in that configuration on that board in terms of having 4 sticks. So that's all down to the QVL list. If we used AMD, maybe it would be a slightly different story. But with Intel, this is just kind of what we're dealing with. And I am hoping that when Rocket Lake does hit, which we could, in theory, just transplant straight into this machine, that should open things up because it has got a slightly better memory controller that can deal with those slightly higher speeds. Now, one thing you will notice is the board, we basically have no control over the RGB lighting on it. And that's because it is Z590 and Mystic Light just doesn't seem to exist from MSI for Z590 boards at this precise moment in time. You can load Dragon Center, but the module for Mystic Light just isn't there. You will also notice that the graphics card, while I did want to put it in a vertical sort of fashion, it just doesn't work because the card itself is actually too big and doesn't quite fit where the CPU cooler and the space in between. So we had to go horizontal, which is a little bit of a shame, but that's no fault of really anyone other than the graphics card is too big. And this is just the thing with RTX 30 series cards. They are very, very tall. Anyone who's ever water-cooled one and stuck a custom block on will know exactly what I'm talking about. Overall though, I think the system came out looking pretty damn special, especially with that blue lighting that we've got in there. It just makes it sort of feel quite cold. So I've kind of got the cold on this side and the lovely warm fireplace on this side. Now, one other thing I do actually want to mention is the CPU cooler in here, the ShadowRock 3 White Edition. We're going to be giving 2 of those away, and all you really have to do is go onto Twitter with the hashtag, where do I put my components? Most stupid hashtag ever, but where do I put my components? And what we want is actually to see pictures of a PC component, whether it's your whole system, whether it's just one component or multiple, in a place where maybe you wouldn't expect it to be. I obviously built this in the snow. Maybe you live in the desert and you're going to show us some pictures of that. Either way, we'd be really interested to sort of see sort of what's going on there. All the terms and conditions and everything will be down in the description as well. So yeah, definitely check that out and good luck with that. It is open worldwide, so no issues there. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and if you want to see kind of more crazy stuff like this, hopefully next time it will be somewhere a little bit warmer, maybe building a PC on the beach. Who knows what crazy ideas me and the team are actually going to come up with. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, you know exactly what to do, and I'll see you in the next one. See you later, guys. Bye-bye. Oh yeah, now we're cooking. Just need some marshmallows now. How you doing over there, cameraman Matt?
I can't feel my hands.
He can't feel his hands, I can't feel my feet. So between us, we're, you know, a pretty abled person, I guess. Yes, that is a train going past. You know what, I don't even care anymore. A train's going past, but I'm carrying on. I'm carrying on. But we're gonna lay it down anyway, and then grab the screws that we need. And this is the moment that I'm really kind of dreading, because the screws aren't in that one. Damn it, where are the screws? There are no screws. How can there be no screws? Where are the screws? Are you f***ing me? Right, we found the screws.